So, continuing on with our talk of the potential threats we could see in the future, I have to mention something I haven't really seen many talk about yet, and if you read the title of the video, I'm talking about the Dragonflights and how a past ally could prove to be a threat to Azeroth. Now first, before we begin, I have to say, I mean the primary Dragonflight, so red, green, bronze, blue, and black. None of that violet or chromatic or whatever the hell else there is. but the Infinite Dragonflight might come up, so be ready for that. Now, I thought long and hard about this topic because the Dragonflights have literally only been peaceful to us since we met them. But of course there have been, a couple anomalies, and those who've tried to go against us and since the Cataclysm, and I'm using Cataclysm as the cutoff point. You have Kairos Dormu, who opened the way to alternate Draenor. You have Rathians, whose motives are very, very sketchy, and any others that I'm missing. But what about everyone else? What about the red, or the blue, or the green, or the bronze? Well, starting at the top of that list, the red Dragonflight, I don't think would necessarily be an enemy to us. I think they'd be the enemy of the undead, mainly the Ebon Blade. And I say this because way back in Legion, the Death Lord sacked and pillaged through the Ruby Dragon Shrine on the orders of the Lich King, which isn't the best for relations. So, in a future where we could go back to Northrend, it'd be very interesting to see a dynamic where the Red Dragonflight refuses to aid any endeavors of those who housed the Death Lord because of their actions a few expansions ago. As for the green, I'd say they're in the same boat as the red. They have no real reason to be our enemy, but since their flight has basically been the sworn enemy of the Void, it'd be nice to see them act with like a strong distrust of the Rendor Eye and any others who are inflicted with the Shadow's influence, or any that would aid them. As for the blue, well, they've already been our enemies back during Wrath of the Lich King, where Malygos, the Aspect at the time, waged war with the mages of Azeroth for control over magic, but now they're arguably the weakest of the Dragonflights and have no real hold over anything anymore, not even the Nexus, so they themselves wouldn't even be a threat, like, at all. And when it comes to the Black Dragons, they have been the only flight with open hostilities to any who seek to claim Azeroth, which is due to the fact that they believe they are obligated to retrieve it, so Azeroth, due to their heritage of warding the earth. And we've seen this on island expeditions where Black Dragons swoop in and attempt to collect the Azeroth for themselves, proclaiming it is like their birthright to do so. However, if only one, and barely two, of the five could be considered threats, that's pretty weak. That makes this video pretty weak, but to counter that fact, here's a thought I had, and this is a complete spitball, meaning that while it is possible, it is very unlikely and is pure speculation because this is just a straight spitball. Now, if you look at the Dragonflights, they are severely weakened, every single one of them. While they are still powerful, they have lost hundreds of their kind and their ability to reproduce. Every expansion, they seem to get weaker and weaker. We kill more of them, or more of them just die off, and all of their troubles can be brought back to us and their remaining leaders. We, the heroes of Azeroth, alongside the leaders of the Dragonflights, sacrificed everything the dragons stood for to stop the Hour of Twilight, something I have said is inevitable in a past video. Now, wouldn't it be entirely possible that while the dragons are our allies, wouldn't it be possible for them to look at us with envy or disgust or even hatred? We essentially aided in the reduction of their power and set up an age of mortals, an age where they are like a side plot compared to everything else. And while their sacrifice was noble, I think it'd be very possible for the Dragonflights, without the consent of their leaders maybe, to unite and form a faction dedicated to putting the dragons back on top of the food chain. Perhaps this very faction would come to be known as the Infinite Dragonflight, led by a corrupted Nozdormu, and there it is, there's the mention of Infinite Dragonflight. And for those who aren't aware, As Dormu, as told by him by a vision of the future, he will be tricked by the old gods into attempting to undo his mortality, and he will go on to create the infinite Dragonflight. And with the dragon's mortality now in place, and the talk of N'Zoth completely breaking free in BFA, it stands to be a huge plot that could be addressed in the near future. Just imagine witnessing the birth of a Dragonflight. We've already been fighting since the Burning Crusade. It'd be weird, but it's very possible, and I would very much hope to see it one day. So what do you think? Do you think it's possible the Dragonflights will turn against us one day? Do you believe the beginning of the infinite Dragonflight is coming? Maybe you believe we changed the course of time during the Cataclysm, and none of it will come true the way we think. Please do let me know your thoughts, as well as all questions, comments, and concerns regarding this video, WoW or its lore, in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to read them. Thanks for watching.